All right. Welcome, Trudy Keating. How are you today?
Yes, I'm fine, Monique. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here in Uruguay and you're in the UK, right?
I'm in the UK.
Cool. Can you tell us a bit about your teaching background?
Yes. First of all, I really, really want to say a huge thanks, for giving me the opportunity to do this interview with you.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so my teaching background, I'm from Canada, but I'm living in the UK. I moved here back in 1991 and started teaching in the primary schools here in the UK. I had also I had 12 and a half years as well teaching in the south of France. As a family, we moved over there for 12 and a half years. But the last 8 years, I'm here in the UK. I was teaching my entire life in France as well. And I started to teach in the schools here in the UK when we moved back from France in 2013. But in 2015, I stopped teaching in the state schools and I opened my own private tutoring business. And to this day, I'm still doing that and I absolutely love it. So, yeah, so that's my background, really. Yeah,
And it's
in my
really amazing
teaching.
because Trudy, in your story and in life, because we've got to know each other, you also offer havening and other these amazing other techniques to children, even though you're tutoring them within, like, say, the mainstream subjects, but you're offering this kind of gift to the students that's really like changing their lives. Did you want to share about that as well? That's like so
Yeah.
amazing to me.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I started to become very, very interested in therapy as well, because what I was
Mm,
finding when I started teaching privately, the children had, they had a lot going on an emotional level as well. And I just wanted to understand how they were feeling and if I could sort of help in that way as well. So I trained as a Havening practitioner back in 2015, and basically that's a therapy that really, really, absolutely shows children how to downregulate their stress and any anxiety that they have while they're at school. So they would come here and they would, well, so many of them, I think more and more they're being very, very pressured here in the UK in particular. And all the moms agree, they're more and more, they're being, sort of given, a lot more to do on a yearly basis. And, they're suffering anxiety, at a younger age at the moment
mm,
here.
mm,
And so, yeah, so it was really, really important that, that they could, you know, find a way to sort of downregulate that anxiety to help themselves. So that's been really super to be able to show them those techniques. And they're very, very, very easy to do. So, they can take them away when they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or, stressed out. They can actually, do the Havening techniques and take their stress and anxiety down. And yeah, and the mom say to me, she was doing her evening exercises, she was very overwhelmed yesterday when she came back from school, but we did her techniques and and it got so much better. So it's really nice to be able to share that with the children as well.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I loved learning about that. And that to me really is like part of the new paradigm of education, that we're able to empower students to overcome anything, any anxiety or any like learning difficulties or anything inside of them. And then also on top of that, you're teaching them the skills as well. So it's not just you like being the healer, it's you also empowering them to know how to do it. It's so brilliant. It's amazing.
And
Yeah.
it's really funny as well because, they know it works.
Mm.
So instead of like staying in, this down state where, because sometimes, they feel like they're failing as learners because they're not understanding things in the classroom. Things are moving on so quickly. There's not a whole lot of time for repetition of what they've just learned. So little by little, they miss, little important steps along the way. And so as a result, of that over a period of time, they just start to believe that, they're unable to learn. So, it's really nice to sort of say, okay, you really can learn, and, you're just a little bit, anxious about not being able to understand what's happening in the classroom. So we'll sort of do some havening and get them in a really good state. And, we do a lot of positive affirmations as well while we do the techniques. And then, we move on and do what they feel they don't know how to do. I show them how to do it. And then when they get it, they become the teacher and they show me. So it's proof that they can do it. So, yeah. So it's sort of, swings rather than a circle, so that they come out and think, yeah, I can do this, which is a really, really great eureka moment every time it happens.
That's so beautiful.
Amazing.
Thank you. Did you have any questions for me about the new paradigm of education or anything like that before we wrap up?
Yes, I just wanted to, ask you as well about your story, about your vision. Do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, sure. So my vision came for the book was solely to help the children of this world. It came through a deep meditation, and it led me to all of you because I knew that I couldn't do it alone. I was like, how does this manifest? I can't, who is this person, Monique, to create something like this and to help children? We need people to be out there all helping. So that was the stepping stones towards connecting with each of you. And then my personal story, is around my own awakening, I call it, or finding peace within myself. And I found that as an educator, as a teacher, before that, in the classroom, I was like not so confident, and the children would be kind of reacting to that. Even though I love them and I was having a great time, they were having fun, but it was like this little bit of chaos happening. And I found the moment that I became at peace with myself, that the classroom just changed completely. Obviously my state had changed as well. And so for me, awakening, I feel, is super important for teachers and for students. In being able to, just have better connections, more loving connections, happy times, no anxiety, creating joy in the classroom, and being able to then go and teach that to children as well, like meditation, and teach them skills that can help them to to assist their learning, because I feel like school is very much centered on one type of learning. And they're not, when we're not, in the past, we're not teaching them to access the whole brain. Whereas I feel like what's amazing in the new paradigm is we're able to empower students to use the whole brain. Why not use, we need to use both sides of the brain to be able to be, I believe, like the best learners that we can. And learning actually just happens automatically then. You don't actually need to be seeking learning. There's nothing you need to be seeking. It's just because you're already at peace within yourself. There's no struggle. You're able to absorb whatever's around you, and that becomes learning in itself. So it's actually pretty amazing. It's just like this automated process, and it seems so simple to kind of to do once you know it. But when you don't know it, there's the struggle, right? And there's there's so many children I see, and I'm smiling, but I'm not smiling inside. There's so many children I see that that have struggled, and there's just no need for that. Like, so many children I have helped, and now I know other ways that I can help them that would be much more impactful, which I didn't know when I first started teaching, right? Because I'm just, following my book and following my curriculum and doing what I'm supposed to do. And once you get to that point of just knowing yourself, and then you're able to really guide the children with what they actually need. And so part of this was also interviewing all of you and finding out, well, what is it that you all do? And I'm not the expert. Like, it's not all about me sharing just my way. Like, there's so many ways we can help these children. So that was also part of it, why I ended up interviewing all of you. And I created actually a global survey within the book. So any other educator who has ideas, who wants to share their vision as well, can also respond to that, because I believe collectively we have a way to change the world if everybody's
Absolutely.
on it. So that's kind of
Absolutely.
the seeds of it. Thanks,
Wow,
Marcy.
that's amazing. Yeah. And of course, I think for everybody who's taken part in the book, I mean, we've all realized that, children are natural learners. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, they're so curious, they absorb everything. And, that means, outside of, the four walls of the classroom, and a happy child is a happy learner. And, it's full of confidence, ready to soar on a daily basis. So I think as educators, we have to, be great listeners and, really listen to them and what they have to say. And, when they're unhappy, I think then we have to become incredibly good at not only listening, but communicating and trying to get whatever's on their little minds off their minds and, take them back to that happy place. Yeah, I mean, later in life is, enough time to worry and stress and all the rest of it. They just should be happy little learners wherever they are.
Totally.
Yeah.
And probably they won't have that same stress mentality that we've all had. Like if you can change the generation for them all to be not wired to stress, maybe they won't be dealing with it how we've dealt with it. Like we are constantly, or not we, I am constantly always shifting it, shifting it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
if that generation is already just wired that peace is natural, I mean, imagine that would be huge,
Mhm.
right? That would just be so
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah, no, it would, honestly. And again, coming back to behaving techniques, I teach them how to remove it. So it actually is being removed from their bodies, any stress, any anxiety. And, we didn't have that. I mean,
Mm.
we can all remember sitting in the classroom being anxious because we've forgotten how to spell a word or whatever. And, those sorts of things stay with you. But if you're able to remove all that as you go along, you're sort of clearing out as you go along. So it's healthier all around, I think, and
Yeah,
really
it's
good emotionally. Yeah.
amazing. All right, I think we can wrap up there. So we
Okay.
don't talk all day with each other, but it was so nice to chat with you again.
And you
And
too.
yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. And our book is coming out October the 9th, and we're raising money for charity. So it would be amazing to support that with us. So thank you,
For sure, for
everybody.
sure. Thank you, everybody, in advance for buying our book.
Okay, thank you.